A Stranger in the Village by James Baldwin. A Stranger in the Village was first published in 1953 in Harper's magazine and later included in Baldwin's essay collection Notes of a Native Son 1955. The essay was written during the Baldwin's stay in a small Swiss village where he reflected on race, history and identity from the perspective of being a black man in all-white European setting. Significance of the essay. A Stranger in the Village is one of Baldwin's most important essays because it moves beyond personal experience to make a powerful critique of Western civilization. Baldwin reveals how deeply racism is tied to history and identity, arguing that Europe and America must confront their shared responsibility in the construction of racial inequality. In the opening of the essay, Baldwin describes arriving in the Swiss village. Locals react with amazement and curiosity. Children shout nigger, nigger at him, showing both ignorance and racial stereotyping. In the middle of the essay, he contrasts being a foreigner, white outsiders, with being a stranger. Stranger refers to black outsider. A foreigner may eventually be accepted, but a stranger represents something like alien and permanent. Baldwin argues that his blackness is not personal but historical, which is tied to slavery, colonialism, and exploitation. Towards the end of the essay, Baldwin says Europe's culture and wealth cannot be separated from the history of Africa and slavery. America is different. Black people are not outsiders there. Their blood, labor, and history are foundational to the nation. Baldwin emphasizes that white Americans must accept this truth or they will never move forward. In closing of the essay, he insists that black identity is a central part of Western history, not an exotic presence. The essay ends as a critique of racism and calls for recognition of shared humanity. Key themes discussed in the essay. 1. Race and otherness. Baldwin is treated as fundamentally alien, not just foreign, highlighting how blackness has historically been constructed as different. Second theme, history and memory. He insists that Europe's wealth and history are inseparable from the exploitation of Africa and its people. Third theme, identity and belonging. The essay explores Baldwin's sense of alienation, both in Europe and America, and the struggle for identity as a black man. Fourth theme, American racial dynamics. Unlike in Europe, Baldwin stresses that in America, the black man cannot remain a stranger because blackness is woven into the nation's history itself.